Hi friends, it's Suzanne from Stampin.com. At the time this video airs, I'll be in Vancouver attending Stampin' Up's on-stage local event. During these events, we're encouraged to swap projects with fellow demonstrators to get inspired and also celebrate each other's creativity. I wanted my swap to emulate what I love most about paper crafting. This video shares a little card making, a little mixed media action, and of course a 3D project. To create my card, I'm using the Star of Light stamp set, the Garden in Bloom stamp set, and my personal favorite, the Perpetual Birthday Calendar stamp set. This image comes from there. It's beautiful. I love it. I have second generation stamped either with rich raspberry or sweet sugar plum. And then I treated my shimmery white cardstock with my embossing buddy. And I have stamped the Star of Light image in Versamark ink, and I am coating that with the silver embossing powder. The Garden in Bloom is the stamp set that I have used for the sentiment, and it says, "Hope you're feeling special today." So I'm heating that embossing powder till it gets nice and shiny, and that is the front of my card. It's a playoff of what you're going to be seeing in the mixed media section. So I wanted my note cards to fit exactly perfectly. So I have a piece of rich raspberry, and I'm using tear and tape, and that is at 1/4 of an inch of a score there. And I'm just folding it over and burnishing that adhesive on. And then I'm putting my Whisper white piece, so that's the back part of the card. So basically I'm making my own cardstock. And I've tried to use all the pieces that I used for the 3D project, and so these were the leftover pieces and they fit perfectly. So that's the sweet sugar plum I'm putting on as a backer. This is some fun foam, and I'm popping that all up, just using some fast fuse, and that's pretty much my card. It seems simple, but when you have to make 50 of them, it can be a little tedious. Anyway, I love doing it. So this is a little sneak peek of the mixed media that is segment that is coming up. I just wanted to decorate the back a little bit. So I used some pearls, small, medium, and large, as is my norm, and place that on the card. So that was the card portion, and now on to the mixed media portion. I tend not to chatter through that, so here's some music and just enjoy, and I'll catch you for the 3D project. Okay, we're starting out with a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 by 7.5. And on the long side, we are going to score at 1/2 inch, 1, 1.5 and 2. And then we're going to jump to 6.5, 7, 7.5, and 8. I'm going to flip it around to the short side. We're going to score at 1/2, 1, 1.5, and 2. We're going to go at 2.5, and we're going to go down 2 score lines, and that's it. 5, we're going to go down 2 score lines. 5.5, 6, 6.5, and 7. And we're going to flip it around to the other short side, and we're going to score to the 2 score lines here at 2.5 and at 5. Okay, so normally I would say fold and burnish, but to be honest, that is probably not the easiest way to go. So basically we're going to take out all of these 8 squares, little tiny squares here, so basically 2 inches of the corner. And it's much easier to get a straight, perfect line without having them folded and burnished. And it is easier to make sure that when we do fold these skinny little lines that they don't go all wonky. That is a technical term. It's also a condition of paper. When it's too thin and it gets folded, it does have a tendency to have a mind of its own and go a little bit off cue. And since this is a shadow box, we definitely want to make sure that everything is perfectly centered and square. Okay, so we're going to cut down these edges here. So, and we're going to take that edge off, or these 2 squares basically where we made those scores. And now we're going to go from this corner to this corner, and cut it like that. So I'm going to flip it over because it's going to be a little easier for me to get to this angle with these big scissors. Okay, I hope you saw that. I'm going to do it one more time. Cut up, square off, cut up that little score line and take off, and then from corner to corner, corner to corner. So essentially this is what you should have. So I do think that it's actually easier to put on the adhesive before we start folding and burnishing. It just makes life a little bit easier. So I have deemed that this is going to be my center of the shadow box. So on the outside is where we're going to put the tear and tape, and you can see I am putting it right along that score line. Right up to the edge. I'm not even tearing it at this point. I want to make sure that I get good contact, and I want it all the way around because these are pretty much the only 2 pieces of adhesive that we'll be putting on. So just that. Then you're going to flip it over. So this would be the inside. We're going to put a piece of adhesive here. just on that angle cut that we made. And on the other side, I'm just trying to match up angles here. And you only want it on this. You don't want to take it further down. And that is what you should have. So we can go ahead and burnish it, and I'll tell you the reason. See, it's so much easier. I'm also, when I'm burnishing, I get to burnish that adhesive in. Which is super cool. And they're not going to go wonky on me. Pretty simple to make once you figure out how to do it. And now that I've made 50 of them for my swaps, I am an expert. Okay, so, and that's pretty much it coming together. So how it works is we'll take off the tear and tape in a minute, and after I finish decorating. So I'm going to do this video in segments. So basically we're going to fit those two sides together, and you know, they're going to be stuck to the base, and then we're going to remove the two bits and pieces there and very perfectly make a shadow box. It just comes together that quick and that sharp looking. And you can make it any size, any you know, a box to fit anything like this. All you need to do is remember to measure the item that's going inside, and then you need a 1/2 inch, or it depends on how big you want these, but I used the 1/2 inch measurement. I added on a 1/2 inch of whatever it was that is inside, and then 2 more inches. So each one of these are 1/2 inch, right? So that's 1 inch, 2 inch, 2.5 inches. And you measure, you just basically measure your item and then go 2.5 inches either way, and then just figure out the shadow box from there. All right, I'm back, and I have a few embellishments, and let's get started putting this baby together. Now, this is the last one I'm actually putting together. I have done all other 49 shadow boxes, and I've completed them, so I'm saving the last one for you so that I can share some tips. So tip number 1, remove all adhesive backing first. Just makes it go quicker. Tip number 2. So when I was putting these together at first, I was trying to sort of like make a little box and then adhere it down. Not the way to do it. The way to do it is by putting that, there's the one side with the adhesive. Okay, I've folded it over just like this, and now I'm going to fold over 2 and then press down. So before we all go putting stuff together, I'm going to put on my mixed media piece, is what I'm calling it. And this was 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, and it fits perfectly right inside. All right, so now let's do that little trick. Give everything a really good press. Burnish those little corners that have the adhesive on it. All right, so for my butterflies, I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and like I did on every one of those butterflies, I actually went over them twice. And I just sort of wanted to get that front, like the 2/3, I guess, of the butterfly. And when that dries, I'll do another coat. This will come off with just alcohol, just in case you're curious. So I'm going, while that's drying a second, I'm going to take a glue dot, put the glue dot on the body of that fella, line this guy up, go on in with my second coat, and now how to hide that glue dot. I used a big pearl right over top of the glue dot, a little pearl, medium pearl I should say, over the body, and then I don't know why, but these teeny tiny baby pearls, they're my favorite. Now I actually let these dry a little bit, but because, you know, I'm on film, I'm just gonna wing it. So I grabbed the two wings together because I do sort of want them propped up. And then I put a generous amount of Tombow on the back, lined it up, pressed it down. So that is the sweet sugar plum version, and this is the rich raspberry version. I'll have pictures at the end so that you can see. And because this one was on video, what I'm going to do is right on the inside upper corner here, so that you can't see it, but I'm going to write a little tiny happy face. Teeny tiny happy face in the corner. So if you receive this one, shout out to me and tell me you got it. So that is the entire process from start to finish of my swaps for 2016 Onstage Local, Vancouver, BC, Canada. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back and check out some of my other videos. Subscribe if you like. Thanks so much. Bye. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On the screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. To see a picture gallery of all my projects, stop by my blog. Thanks again for watching.